Christine here with the Health and Happiness Hacks Wellness Show. I'm so excited to have Lance Roll here with the Flavor Chef, and he's going to talk all about bone broth, which is like the new up and coming. I mean, you can tell us more about it, but being in the wellness industry now for 4.5 years, just overnight, now everybody's talking about bone broth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this will be a great way because a lot of friends of mine are like, well, what's bone broth and what's the benefits? And so we're so excited to have him here live with us to tell us all about it.
Christine, I am super excited to be here, and 2017 is getting off to a good. This is actually my first recording of 2017, so
Yay!
Pretty excited about that. And unless you count January 3rd on Fox TV,
okay.
where it was nice, and that was quick when it was a persimmon. So, but yeah, super excited, and bone broth is the rage right now.
Yes.
And I look
yeah,
forward.
And you sell it. I mean, we've
been
in Jimbo's now here in San Diego. So you're just in San Diego County selling the product?
No, way. We can rewind a little bit. So I started the company back in 2007, the Flavor Chef Inc., and that was after about 18 years of cooking. I had met my mentor, Paul Chek, who introduced me to the Weston A. Price Foundation, and Sally Fallon, the work called Nourishing Traditions. And of course, as a chef, I'd been, I was not, of course, but I was personally blessed to be working in my passion, working in my gift from God to literally bring food to people. And during 2004 through 2006, I was teaching culinary school here in San Diego Culinary Institute, and chef instructor, had been certified executive chef. And all the chefs there kind of had a little thing that we're really good at. And so one day one of the chefs came in and said, Chef Lance here, he can make a pile of dog do taste good. And I was like, and right from that moment, I became known as the Flavor Chef. And of course, I had 18 years before that. People loved my food already, and but that's where I got the Flavor Chef from. And in about 2007, I started my own company, this company, the Flavor Chef Catering. And later on that year, I was, working with his people, the Chek Institute, and I had to cook out of this book, Nourishing Traditions. So,
and then the bone broth, when did you start dovetailing into just really working on the bone broth product?
So really, in 2007, late that year, 11/11/07, and hopefully some of your audience will understand numbers. Yes. And the importance and significance of numbers, and I'm an 11/11 guy. And truthfully, I didn't really know it till about 3 years ago. I kind of thought, I wonder what's that vision exactly, And I went back, and there it was in my computer hard drive, 11/11/07.
That's so cool.
Was the day I kind of went home. I ran this article, and what happened was I was literally up here in Cardiff at the Seaside Market, and I just had one of those moments of inspiration. I call it a download from God, a message from the universe. Whoever's speaking, that little still voice in your ear that says, go left instead of go right. And really it's about kind of listening, listening to your body and health and wellness, listening to that voice, knowing that after you do something and you don't feel good, or you eat something you don't feel good or something, so using that for your advantage. And I got a message to bring bone broth to the market. Bone broth to the market? What is this?
2007?
2007.
Wow.
So you can see this here, this trademark. It's actually a registered trademark 2008. Broth is good for you, promotes a healthier you. And we're going to try that in a minute.
Yes.
Let it cool down a little bit. But so I took out bonebroth.com, the URL, in 2008. I also had a business coach at the time who said, Chef, if you really believe in what you're going to do, then you should, trademark what you have. So I was already known as the Flavor Chef, so I trademarked that. I went through this transformation in 2006, 2007 with Paul Chek, and of course Paul Chek focuses on love. Love is I say love is the ultimate spice.
So that's your tagline?
That's my tagline. So when you're cooking with love, energy with love, and you're basically loving yourself to great health. Heather Dane and her work, and with Louise Hay, and it's really the truth. So we ended up trademarking those three items and those three terms, and started to fill up bonebroth.com with some information, and had this idea. I was cooking for the Chek Institute on a regular basis, and Chekies are very particular. They want all organic food, local food, sustainable food. I was doing farmers markets, catering business was growing, meal delivery business was growing, serving broth all the time. Hey, this is pretty good, Lance. This is really good bone broth. So I said, okay, well, we'll pour this here. We'll let it cool a little bit.
Yay.
This is our signature chicken bone broth with a mix with a tiny bit of sea salt in there.
It smells so good. It's like torture. I've been smelling it for the last
Yeah,
couple minutes.
I've been hoping. 1984, just a quick sub note for those people out there, because people like little factoids.
Yes.
1984, college time, we were, George Orwell had written 1984, so we were kind of like, wow, what's happening this year? And so we were hoping for Smellovision, and
Nice.
we were dreaming up Smellovision. And basically, I've heard recently that actually now in some of the 3D, 4D movie theaters, they can throw in some odors and stuff,
Yes.
and gunpowder and whatnot. So not quite there yet, but we were envisioning how that could be. But maybe they'll do something with virtual reality and sniffs or something. But maybe we'll get there. But
Yes.
for you guys out there, you'll have to go get some somewhere locally. But so in 2011, I had finally got my labels together. I got my product together. I was approached by Kim Schutte and the Biodynamic Wellness. Hopefully, maybe a guest I can introduce you to. She's an awesome speaker, and she has an amazing business up there and a wellness center. And she's a chapter leader of the Weston A. Price Foundation. And so she said, "Could you please make this for my clients? Because everyone loves bone broth. Everyone believes in bone broth. But truthfully, wink, wink, nod, nod. Nobody really likes to make bone broth. It's a long process. It smells up the house. Somebody doesn't like it. They can't get good bones." We'll talk a little bit more about that. But so I started making it, putting it in packages in early 2012. I got my license by the state to bring it to retailers. I got into Jimbo's. Locally here was only 4 stores at the time. And then we brought it to Cardiff Market, where I had the Vision, Cream of the Crop in Oceanside, and a few more locals. And since then, we've actually grown the retailers to over 60 retailers. We have about 12 locations in Los Angeles right now, 3 or 4 3 Air One locations, 9 locations in Orange County, multiple locations. We just got into Lazy Acres, which is now Santa Barbara as well.
Oh, nice.
And we're about to get in Bristol Farms, which will take us all the way up to San Francisco, all throughout Los Angeles and Southern California. And we'll be moving east as well, Riverside. We got a chain of stores up there, the mountains. That's the retail side of the business too. In 2012, that launched. In 2013, we launched the Brothery.com, another trademark of ours. And Sally Fallon had said in her article, "Broth is beautiful," that there should be a brothel in every town. The Brothel.com probably wasn't going to work. And a little bit confusion there, brothel, but really a broth place in every town. And I like to tell people in 2013, when the Flavor Chef, first in, by the way, other people say they were before me, but they weren't. And, we literally made that vision come true. Because in January of 2013, we had our broth available online to be distributed to every corner of America. And at that point, it actually was. I'd been on the Underground Wellness Show with Sean Croxton in October.
Nice.
And that's where that was my first show. That actually was the show that kind of launched the website in a sense, and then in January had me back on the Underground Wellness, and we launched the online store. And
So can you ship to all
50 states
all 50
now?
states?
Yeah,
Okay,
bonebroth.com. We have an amazing shipping program. We Alaska and Hawaii are 2-day only, and they're pretty far. And it's a little expensive, but bone broth is something people will drink. So anyway, Christine, why don't you have a little sip here?
Excited.
This is our
Thank
genuine
you.
certified organic chicken bone broth. Cheers.
Oh my gosh, smells so good.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Tim?
That is awesome.
Pretty good, huh?
Even our producer director here gets to try some behind the scenes. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's
and it's
rich.
exciting because I never tried it, and I keep having these conversations with clients about it. And I tell them, well, I haven't tried it yet, but now I see it in Whole Foods, I see it in bottles, I see it just almost overnight everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. So what happened, quick fast forward, we went up to September of 2014, and that day Nourishing Broth came out, September 30th, and it was written by Kayla Daniel and Sally Fallon. And that actually didn't launch the movement. It came out just prior to that. And literally in that book, Nourishing Broth, my broths are featured in that book. My company is mentioned in that book because we were one of the only companies out there selling bone broth nationally. and locally, fresh frozen bone broth. And at that point in time, it was just prior to kind of the trend started right at the end of 2014 when New York Times got a hold of this gentleman named Marco Canora in New York City, and he had this amazing concept of like putting bones in a pot and simmering them and then selling the cup out the window called bone broth. And apparently the New York Times said all the New Yorkers would be going there for their morning broth. It's like 12 million New Yorkers, one little window in the East Village. Not quite sure if it's going to make it. I was sort of glad it wasn't me, only because I was shipping online, and at the time I only had one kettle. So,
whoa.
Yeah, and right in October of 2012, too, we went certified organic. We didn't actually get our certification until a couple of years later, but we are now completely certified organic, and we always have been. I mean, obviously, if you're going to eat bone broth, drink bone broth, make bone broth, the most important thing is to use organic materials. Our broth that you're drinking right there is made with Palomar Mountain spring water.
Whoa,
yep.
Nice.
All our animals, our chickens come from Mary's Chicken, which is the Pittman Farms in Fresno, and they are certified humane, and they're air chilled, and they're GAP Level 3, Global Animal Welfare Program, Level 3 or higher. And that just means there's a certifying body that's telling you these people raise these chickens a certain way. Our beef is GAP Level 5 or 4 or 5 and higher, and that the certified organic as well, homegrown meat. Both of those companies supply Whole Foods regionally with all the meat and chicken.
Okay.
For the most part, yeah. So so we have a relationship with both of those purveyors and those farmers essentially. And really great animals, all humanely treated. The beef is grass-fed, grass-finished, very important, and certified organic, also important. One thing about the certification everyone needs to know is that, without the certification, people can kind of do whatever they want to do. So just be careful out there, because people say, "Oh, mine's organic," or "I have this," or "I have that." Look, if you're not certified organic, you're not held to an accountability level. This year I'm about to go through it again, so they're going to come in, they're going to look at all my records, they're going to make sure that the amount of broth I sold and the amount of bones I bought are the same number.
Yeah.
So and it's expensive.
Oh, for sure.
It is expensive, but again, just for your listener, just do what you want to do. But the important thing is, you can get the certification, you just have to be willing to go through the audit. And if you're not, I just say make your own choice. Our broths are all, there's a couple of them that are up here. We have a couple of online products, our AIP product as well. And that is just an autoimmune product, has no garlic, no onions. It's just a very plain broth.
That could be more inflammatory, right?
Yeah, it's some of the protocols I got down from, I had very good friends with Krista Orecchio and the whole journey. Mm-hmm. And really good friends with that wellness community as well, the wellness community we're in. And Mickey Truscott and Angie Alt were up at a conference last year, and we had a conversation about autoimmune. Dr. Tom O'Brien, I literally catered Dr. Tom O'Brien's wedding this year in November, and he's a good friend as well. We're at the Autoimmune Fix, and amazing program, amazing summit that he had about autoimmunity, and a lot of deception that's out there. But either way, we needed the product to meet the demands of those, so we have these basically plain broths. And all made with the same animals as everything else. So,
yeah, and that's a question that somebody had asked me, and I'm like, okay, let me ask Lance this when he's on the show. Is the vegetarians and the vegans and they're just
vegetarian vegans? I've got very good news for them. I have a beautiful vegetable broth.
Okay.
And it's available online at bonebroth.com. Vegan.
Oh, good. That's what I was wondering.
Vegan no bone broth.
Nice.
We call it Rockin' Roots, vegetables and herbs. And I will say, I'm transparent, completely transparent. We haven't had it tested yet. In other words, we haven't sent it in to see what's in there. Email me, and the ingredients, it's a long list of roots. So we have burdock, ginger, turmeric, garlic, if you count that as a root, or bulb, onion, carrot could be a root. It is a root, it's a tuber. And then we have celery, cauliflower, zucchini, kale, and we finish with herbs. So we got rockin' roots, vegetables, and herbs. We make it with the Palomar Mountain spring water. We use a mushroom component as well. We use certified organic cremini mushrooms.
Nice.
And mushrooms have an amazing, again, we're kind of formalizing still. I will tell you one thing, super delicious.
Nice.
And we have a lot of vegan, vegetarian clients actually that they've been told you need bone broth. And so what they love about our product is A, there's no meat in it.
No.
And B,
you're right. In the digestive
super
system,
clean.
So much easier.
Super clean. They love that I'm organic. They love that it's BPA free bags and all the details that I take Palomar Mountain spring water to make sure that it's a
because it makes
super
a difference.
Absolutely does. Again, folks, when you're out there, I mostly talk about my product, but look at the label. There's a product out there that's not organic and it's made with water from LA.
Ooh.
You don't want to drink water from LA. Not after it's been simmered and made with vegetables. Trust me. Look up water, search what tap water is all about, and decide for yourself. Palomar Mountain spring water. I have it delivered in a truck from the mountain up here, about an hour away. Comes in a stainless steel truck. Comes only through the process to get it.
Are you keeping it in drums, or how much?
Yeah, we keep it. They have a 60-gallon drum.
60 gallon. Okay.
Pumped through a line to our kettles. It's really about the best we can do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And I have some video on that too.
And then go over the benefits because we haven't talked yet.
Yeah, the benefits of bone broth. Yeah. Bone broth is the most important things. Obviously, gelatin, collagen. One of the most important things too is it's food. It's literally there's 10 grams of protein in this chicken broth.
Whoa.
Per serving, 8 ounces, and 11 grams in the beef. Another great thing to look at when you're looking at products. If you're looking at a broth in Whole Foods, which I'm not in, look at the protein content in that bone broth because it's down to 5 grams, tons of salt. So we want to be careful with certain products, boxed products as well. Again, just look at what they're making it with. Filtered water, again, is about as benign as saying your food is natural. Natural flavors included in things, and be careful too. Again, we'll go back to the benefits, but just be careful when you're out there. Bone broth is food. Shouldn't be sold in the supplement section. So we got a big confusion out there. People thinking that a powder mixed with water is bone broth, and it generally isn't.
Okay.
It's a food. It's a supplement.
Yeah.
It might be a supplement.
Juicing has the same problem right now. The powdered green juices versus blending up some fresh veggies.
You powder your juice. No. I go to Choice over here in Del Mar in Solana Beach, and when I get a drink, I know I got a beautiful thing that Paul Check and I sat there looking at it like this. You put it, this is hitting me at a molecular level.
Yes.
Because the food is actually so great things about bone broth: nutrient dense, bioavailable, minerals, amino acids, glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid, macro minerals, magnesium, phosphorus, things like that. And again, we did learn through our testing that there wasn't a whole lot of calcium, but calcium is dependent upon mostly. First of all, it's hard to extract calcium from bone. And truthfully, I tell people add kale because there's a lot of calcium in kale. And vegetables have a lot of calcium and available calcium as well. And then, of course, what we have with bone broth is we have a full complex. So we don't just have one, like the powder stuff is one, it's a protein isolate. So when you see isolates, think holistic, whole living, whole foods. Not isolated foods. We don't want isolated things. When you get isolated minerals, they don't generally absorb into your system. So collagen, gelatin, really the biggest benefit. Coats your digestive tract from top to bottom. Heals the digestive tract. We've had testimonies of leaky gut being healed and a lot of people suffering from leaky gut. Beautiful testimony from my friend Megan about recovery from cancer treatment. And a lot of people are going through cancer treatment right now. God bless them, pray for them. But, one thing that's happening is large doses of antibiotics, chemotherapy. It's literally just tearing their immune system apart. Drinking bone broth, instant energy recovery, because what's happening is you're healing that digestive tract. You're healing the damage that's being done from the things that are being put in your body. So in the beginning of a fast, the bone broth diet or whatever you're going to be on, it will really help jumpstart some of the protocols Krista Orecchio does with Gut Thrive is, a 3-day bone broth fast. And, the one nice thing about it is, they say now souping is the new juicing or something because the bone broth has protein. So you don't feel so left
Hungry,
out,
starving.
hungry. Exactly. So it's a really great thing. The collagen gelatin, that's the building blocks of your body. You can listen to podcasts with Kayla Daniel and the West Today Price Foundation on the benefits of bone broth too. And you can basically look anywhere for it, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Drink bone broth. Eat food.
No, so that was my next question is I was getting some information on the internet today, and some people were replacing their daily coffee, their morning coffee. They were just switching it out for bone broth in the morning. So is that something, so is it 16 ounces? Like what's a good?
Yeah, again, the general rule of thumb is a cup a day for those people that are fairly healthy.
Okay.
I've been taking this mug with me basically filled with bone broth pretty much every day, and I'll drink it during the day. So I think I always, I'm not a practitioner, so I'm always like, go to your clinician, go to your clinical nutritionist, go to your nutritional therapist, go to your acupuncturist, kind of get a recommendation, your wellness coach, and hopefully you have a wellness coach. And if you don't, look on, see how you feel. Remember, you're eating food. Food is something you do every day, 3 times a day, and you'll never do it. You'll never stop doing it till the day you die.
I know, right?
And I would say, I said promotes a healthier you. The idea being, and this was the last of my original 10, and I could give that to you to post my original 10 I wrote back in 2011 with Kim Schutte, awesome. The 10 benefits of bone broth. And the promotes a healthier you is the synergy part. Mm-hmm. So people drinking bone broth generally are coming to wellness centers like Echo Chateau to take care of wellness. They're working with coaches. They're doing yoga. They're walking on the beach. They're putting their feet in the sand. One of my favorite things to do.
Yay.
When you're at the beach here in California, anywhere you are, earth it. Earthing, look that up. Earthing is an amazing thing.
Good trick for jet lag too, by the way. 30 minutes of earthing.
Just every morning I walk out, what I call it, I stick my feet in the grass, in the dew, and there's this electromagnetic connection. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, this is a cool vision I always had, like, when you're standing on the earth, wherever you are, you're basically on the top of the earth. Because there's nothing above you. Yeah. So you're literally on the point of the earth, you're literally the top of the earth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I vision it, but super cool way to think about it. And then, of course, your feet digging in. I think about what's on the other side of the earth, and I'm like, I'm in the mother, man, right now. When we jump in the ocean, we're like jumping into the mother, and like that is super healing. But yeah, so go back again, what were you saying?
About the other question I wanted to ask too, as you were speaking, was what gets you out of bed and excited in the morning? Like what gets you?
Oh yeah, and the coffee issue too.
Yeah, and the coffee too.
So yeah, of course people can replace coffee with bone broth. It doesn't have caffeine in it. So I particularly like to do both. I still have my morning cup, and Paul Chek has done some work on this as well. And caffeine, like anything, can be seen as it's a stimulant, mm-hmm. and used properly and used effectively. There's a whole market called Bulletproof Coffee with Dave Asprey. Adding some MCT oil, or you can add coconut oil too, or ghee. We have ghee every day now in there.
I love it.
The ghee, and there's a whole concept there. You got this amazing energy, you got this fat calories, mm-hmm. you got a sustainable thing. So, yeah, if you want to replace it with bone broth, that's fantastic. I think I'm about to start a 10-day transformation cleanse myself. So. I got to get off coffee I'm going to go. I do a 50-50 coffee mix anyway right now, but definitely going to be moving on. But yeah, what gets me out of bed in the morning? I'm very super fortunate. I get 8 hours a night no matter what. I think the bone broth, has been said to be really helpful with your sleep. Okay. It's got a protein component. Bone broth too. It just makes you feel good on a rainy day.
No, I know it's
you're just like, oh my god, it's like this comfort food.
Yeah.
Grandma's chicken soup. But yeah, I think what gets me out of the bed in the morning is just I have a beautiful life, a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful 6-year-old son and almost 6.5, and I'm supercharged entrepreneur right now. I've been growing this company, and I'm actually pretty good, and I'm taking charge of that. And of course, and I wake up, and unlike some people, I'm trying to fit in that model of the 5 o'clock entrepreneur. You get up at 5, and I get up before 5 generally, and have some devotional time, some meditation, some stretching. Meeting my coach tomorrow at 6 in the morning, and we're gonna start spinning.
Good. And that's one of my questions too, is the self-care, like what you do for self-care.
For self-care.
So is that 7 days a week? You do that every morning?
No, that's starting to. I have a couple different routines I do. I like to keep it mixed up, so we do a couple weightlifting routines. some stretching, some somatic exercise, yoga, Bikram yoga on Saturdays. Trying to get to 2 days a week of Bikram, but Saturday I did jump in the ocean here. I've been doing that for 2.5 years. Every Bikram class I go right to the ocean and jump in.
Nice.
No matter what time of year it is. Yesterday was very cold, but we got that yogi thing going on. So I think wellness is Paul Chek summed it up best. The 4 doctors: Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, Dr. Movement, and Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, Dr. Movement, and Dr. Happy.
Nice.
So the last 4 doctors you'll ever need. When you get those kind of in line, then you sort of feel really good. So I think one of the best things I could tell everyone is, I started about 2 years ago again. It changed everything. A quart of warm lemon water in the morning. My wife's half my size.
A quart? You do a quart every morning?
I do a quart every morning.
Cold or hot?
Hot.
Okay.
Not hot. I 3/4 in a mason jar, and then I pour a quarter of tea water, hot water in there with about 1 lemon.
Nice.
Usually, if I remember, a pinch of sea salt, and then I finish that before I do anything else.
No, that's perfect.
And then again, if you're, I'm trying to lose some weight, but I'm about 2. That's for my weight. My wife is half my size, so she drinks an 8-ounce cup or 16-ounce cup if she can. And then, proper hydration is one of the keys to health no matter what.
Well, especially starting your morning by cleaning the pipes, just getting things going with the warm lemon water, that's like a game changer from every wellness. Chris Carr is a big advocate of that.
Yeah.
Sherry, our lead colon hydrotherapist, Sherry McDonald, was the one that connected me with Lance,
Sure.
Which was awesome. So it was just so nice to get that connection. But yeah, our colon hydrotherapists always say the same, just starting with lemon water in the morning.
Lemon water, and again, then just proper hydration throughout the day.
Cool.
Try to drink regular hydration throughout the day. Cool. And we're going to encourage that. Eating right, I'll give you a perfect example of a couple of things about self-care. So about 5 years ago, I stopped drinking beer. I really whittled alcohol down, and basically it came down to, I just doesn't agree with me. I just was honest with myself. So, of course, a lot of people struggling with gluten intolerance. Mm-hmm. So I eliminated that, feel a lot better. And recently, again, I recently had to eliminate kombucha. Now, I love kombucha, and kombucha is good for you.
Is it the sugar's too high for you?
I don't know. I don't think there's too much sugar in kombucha. I think it's more the fermentation in me. That's where the alcohol comes in, the gluten and the yeast come in. And I don't have any symptoms. I just told my coach the other day, I'm like, all these people have symptoms. No symptoms. Sleep 8 hours a day, clarity, no brain fog. So I feel pretty good. I'm very, very fortunate. Anyone on kind of a health protocol, I would say, meditation and prayer are 2 of the most important things you can do for self-care for me, and spiritual practice. Whatever your spiritual practice happens to be. I've gone through several different versions of it. And hopefully I'm going to write a short book someday about that, which we won't discuss here. But the point is, right now I have spiritual practice, and I pray, meditate, read. Currently, if you want to know, I'm reading the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita.
That was my next question. Your favorite book?
My favorite book right now is definitely the study through the Bhagavad Gita with Paramahansa Yogananda. And he wrote a 2-volume, about 1,000-page commentary on the Gita. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through. It's a 5-year study. Started in 2011, but it's grounded me for sure. Gives me a lot of confidence in who I am and moving forward and understanding things around me and letting sort of the Maya delusion get past me. So, nice. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I want to give 2 others. How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy would be my physical fitness book. Paul Chek, his original book, and then lastly would be Nourishing Traditions, my favorite cookbook from the Weston A. Price Foundation. So.
Nice. Oh
3 great recommendations.
Well, that's awesome.
And I see this question over here. So yeah, my purpose in life is to help heal the planet.
Heal the planet. Ooh, that's a good one.
Heal the planet. And we were going to do it 1 GI tract at a time, but now we're doing it 1,000 GI tracts at a time. Oh, one was a little too slow.
Oh, I love it. And that's why, that's why
and
I
love
always
is,
ask that
and
question.
Love is the ultimate spice, the flavor chef.
Yeah.
Let's spread the love.
I love it. And that's why I want to ask everybody their purpose, because everybody has these deep, amazing purposes, and it's just like, I think that's what gets everybody out of bed in the morning, and just knowing your purpose and how help the world and help people. And
I think
so, and we're working possibly on being able to get a freezer in Eco Chateau and retail out me and Lance are talking, so it's we'll see if we can fit it into the spa and
yes,
and be
we
able
could do
to
it.
yeah, we're gonna make it work, so then our clients will be able to pick up some bone broth, you know, and our girls that work here, they're gonna be super happy, because half of them already drink it anyways. So
sure,
we
can make it happen
here at Eco Chateau soon. And
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Lance, for being on the show today. I really appreciate your knowledge. I mean, we could have went on and on. You just have so much knowledge.
Thank you.
So thank you again, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye.
Take care.